know what I've noticed? On my social media timeline, there's an abundance of information about femininity, how to get a high value man, how to keep a man, where to find him, how to be high value, all of this dating, gender war stuff. But honestly, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about, hey Pristine Posse, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a cool minute since I last posted, but I did have a few of you guys reach out and stuff, and I did want to say that I did go out of town. So I will go ahead and insert a quick clip of where I went. You guys can take a guess really quickly. When I non-rev to my destination, I did not have my uniform on. And when I went through KCM, I, of course, got randomed, my little L for today. And then they gave me this. This is only in A gates at DFW where I can not be in uniform, have this sign, and skip the line, okay? So A gates only. This is good to know because you can't do this at any other KCM if you're not in uniform at DFW. If you guessed Atlanta, you were correct. One thing that's different from the DFW airport is that everyone that flies through domestic travel has to go through these 3 escalators to exit. And then here is the main checkpoint for all gates, okay? It's just one huge line. So this is where people commonly miss their flights in Atlanta, especially when it's super busy. The line can be backed up to the trash cans. And then this is the pre-check line. Like, when it's busy, it's going to be just as packed. So I personally don't think pre-check is worth it in popular areas like the Atlanta airport. Just come early. For the month of August, I did take an impromptu trip. However, it was not for the purpose of a vacation. So just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, for the month of August, I did have so many goals for myself, you know, definitely to work on eating healthier foods on a more consistent basis and showing up for the Pristine Posse, posting more, being more consistent. I had this outline of everything that I'll be posting weekly, and I was really prepared to be on it and just show up and build my platform. At the beginning of the month, I had a 4-day trip, and at the beginning of my 4-day trip, I had an overnight in Mexico, and I was informed by my family that my grandmother passed away. So, of course, naturally, a world of emotions came over me, and I was just sad, and more importantly, I was just shocked because I couldn't believe that it happened. And you know, I'm out of the country. I was in Mexico at the time, so it's just like I'm nowhere near home. I'm nowhere near family, and it was just a lot to take in at that moment. My crew members were actually there when I received the news because I was just like casually on my phone, and they saw that my whole mood changed, my face changed, and they were asking me what's wrong, you look really sad. And so I let them know, and they were definitely very concerning, and I'm thankful to have that crew to be able to support me in that time. And I wanted to just pull through and finish out the trip. However, if you're a person like me, I'm a person who carries their emotions on their face. So all it takes is for someone to ask me what's wrong, and then the waterworks would start. So I had to go home from my trip and just gather myself. And honestly, the biggest thing that I wanted to do was just sleep, because I just wanted to escape the reality of it all, you know? It was just very shocking to know that she passed. So as I frequently say in my videos, not everyone is going to catch a flight to go on vacation. And in my case, I was catching a flight to attend my grandmother's funeral. I was definitely just a whirlwind of emotions. I think that's my first time having to catch a flight to go to a funeral, so it's just crazy when people are asking me where am I headed, like what am I doing, and it's like I'm not going on vacation. After the funeral, when I came back home to Dallas, I tried to, you know, pick myself back up, get on my content, continue back on my schedule, but I just could not perform. I just was not in the mood, and I wasn't in the like mental space to show up for the Pristine Posse. And I just started to think like, you know, when was the last time I seen her? And I haven't seen her in a long time. I kept trying to remember when was the last time I seen her. And I just remember last year I was just working a lot, and in my downtime I was trying to build my platform, so I was recording a lot, and I just really didn't make a lot of time for family because I was trying to, you know, of course, work. And I just started to blame myself, and I wish that I was able to spend more time with her because I just didn't think that her time was gonna end. Right after her death, it just felt like a domino effect of things were happening. You know, I had work stuff going on, I had wardrobe malfunction, you know, trying to fly on standby to get back home, car trouble, honestly, you name it, it was happening to me, okay? On top of all that, I fell behind on my content, and I just started to beat myself up about that, and just entering that comparison game, looking at other content creators and seeing how big their platform is, and just saying to myself like, oh, it's probably so much easier for them, you know, they post and they get all these views and they have a large following, and how come I don't have that? You know, I feel like I put in just as much work as others, and, you know, just going down this negative rabbit hole of just being a victim of all these negative things that I felt like were happening to me, you know? Also, my cat Pepper, he always sleeps next to me, and he always wakes up by 6 a.m. because that's when the feeder goes off, and if I'm not up by then, he will start waking me up by meowing by 6:30. And ever since my grandmother passed, I don't know if it's like the combination of my cat being aware of my mood and knowing that I'm sad, or maybe like I'm tossing and turning a lot in my sleep, that he has not waken me up around 6:30 like he normally does. So I see that my energy is also affecting my cat Pepper, and I'm like, wow, you know, even though he's a cat, like he feels the energy too, you know, to not wake me up, to allow me to sleep, because he's like, oh, maybe she's sad, I'm just gonna leave her alone. That tells me, okay, this is serious. You know what I've noticed? On my social media timeline, there's an abundance of information about femininity, how to get a high value man, how to keep a man, where to find him, how to be high value, all of this dating, gender war stuff. But honestly, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about dealing with grief. There's nothing about dealing with grief, how to cope, signs of grief, what to do moving forward. I don't see anything about that. Although I wasn't able to see my grandmother in a couple of months, I was able to chat with her on the phone, and the last time she called me, I'm thankful that I wasn't in air, I didn't miss the call, I was able to chat with her. And you know, our last conversation was about my YouTube channel. She finally got a chance to watch it, and she watched about 5 videos, and she told me that she really liked it, and she even wanted to start a YouTube channel herself and just talk about her life and stuff. So, you know, I'm glad that our last conversation was just very uplifting, and she was telling me that she was proud of me, and that to make sure I'm using my flight benefits to travel and see the world while I'm young and able to do so. And I'm just thankful that I was able to have that last conversation with her, and just remembering that conversation just made me get up recently and just change my mindset. You know, I no longer want to have this victim mentality about the things that are happening in my life. I'm choosing to rewrite my story. Everything that is happening is not happening to me, it's happening for me to become a better woman. And yes, my grandmother passed, but I'm thankful to gain another angel watching over me as I continue to go throughout life. I'm so thankful that I have a platform and I have a community, the Pristine Posse, where I can be vulnerable and just share a part of my life with you all. Thank you to all who have reached out and were concerned about where I've been. And I just want to say that I'm back slowly but surely. I know that grief can come in waves, but I will definitely do my best to show up for the Pristine Posse, because that's definitely something that my grandmother would have wanted. Really quick side note, the last time I was talking to my grandma and I was telling her about my channel, and I said, yeah, the people who subscribe to my channel, they are a part of the Pristine Posse. And she was like, Pristine what? And I was like, Pristine Posse. And she was like, spell it. And I told her P-O-S-S-E, and she was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, why would I call them anything else? Like, what? And she was like, I'm just making sure. But yeah, didn't want to end on like such a sad note, but I just thought that was funny. So I always think about that whenever I say Pristine Posse. But I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I will see you all on another video.